Greetings to all in the love and light of the one infinite creator. My name is Jonathan Tong, and I am facilitator for the Seattle Law of One study group. Just wanted to share a special podcast message to all in the Law of One community who may be having a hard time processing catalysts related to this week's election results. There are a few passages from our friends in the Confederation that I wanted to share with you that I hope will help you see all of this stuff that's happening through what they refer to as eyes of love. As anybody who has watched more than a few of our Seattle group videos knows, I did not, nor would I ever vote for Donald Trump to be president of the United States. As someone who has chosen the service to others path and who considers it important that my voting patterns be consistent with what I believe to be the service to others philosophy, I cannot think of anybody alive today who presents himself as more service to self than Donald Trump. And I cannot think of anyone who is more not STO than Donald Trump, at least in terms of how he has presented himself to the public. I'm sure there are many in the Law of One community who do not see him that way. And that's fine. This video message is not for you. If you voted for Trump, then feel free to turn this off if you have not done so already. Otherwise, I, like everyone else who is still watching at this point, was traumatized and horrified to learn yesterday morning that this Nazi-loving douchebag somehow got reelected president in spite of everything he has said and done in broad daylight in full view on the public record. I kind of thought that we settled it years ago that the Nazis were the bad guys, but apparently that's debatable. But I am happy to say that looking at this from a Law of One perspective and being able to process this with other Law of One folks has helped me to see that this might actually, in spite of all appearances to the contrary, actually be the proverbial blessing in disguise and the answer to our prayers. Maybe not the way that we thought they would be, but could well be. So I would like to share a few passages from our friend Quo that I and many others in the Seattle study group have found helpful. I hope you find them helpful as well. If you like any of these passages, I do encourage you to find them in the channeling archives. Copy, paste them somewhere where you can go back later and read them and reflect on them, or watch this video again and take screenshots of the slides or something. In case you did not know this, you can find the channeling archives on the L&L Research website. Just click on the channeling tab at the top of the page and then click on Conscious Channeling Library in the drop-down menu. And then you can go ahead and use the years that you see on the right-hand side to find the year and the month and the date for the transcript that you are looking for. And when you find that transcript, you can press the Control key and the F button to open up that little search window, or you can type in a keyword to help you find where that word appears in the channeling transcript. So for example, let's take a look at one of these passages. On August 11th, 2009, Quo said, "Consequently, we would suggest that it is entirely up to an entity as to whether or not he stays abreast of the news of the day. Some entities do not have a great curiosity about it, and it certainly is not needed for a spiritually healthy and fulfilling life. There are many, however, whose personalities are such that they do wish to stay abreast of what is happening. And we find that there is no harm whatsoever in learning all that you wish to learn about the affairs of the day, as long as you remember that you are not here to judge, but to love that which you see. All that you see is love in some distortion or another, and you are here to reflect love back into that which you see. Therefore, gaze deeply within as you see the news of the day, asking for insight as to the patterns of service to self and service to others, so that you may see beyond the details into the grand patterns that are moving energetically within the global web of energy that is the earth. And as you come into realizations concerning how the two polarities work and how they complement each other, open your heart to love what you see, to send love into the situations that disturb you, to rejoice with those things that you see that speak to the primacy and the victory of love. For that you shall see beyond all these implements of fear that so abound in your outer world." Such a beautiful passage and really, really important reminder, as they have said many times, that we came here not to change the world, not to change anybody else, not to judge anybody else, but to love what we see, including those that we find most difficult to not be judgmental about. And that Carla, I think, has said more than a few times in her Living the Law of One book that it's really helpful at times to be able to dolly back, like you're on a film set, movie camera, to dolly back, look at things from a distance. And as Quo suggests in the second paragraph, maybe to be able to look at the world from a distance and to see the patterns of service to self, service to others, see how these two polarities work and how they complement each other, I would agree can be a really helpful thing at this time. There is another passage I wanted to share from November 16th, 1986, where Quo said, "If you see anything except the face of love, you are having difficulties with perception. Forgive and forgive again. Forgive yourself, forgive any who seem to have hurt you, remembering that you have faulty perceptions if you do not see love in every situation." Which really is a beautiful way to go back to what they have said many, many times, which is that everything is love. Everything is a distortion of the one original thought of love. Every person that you see on the news, whether you voted for them or not, is the face of love. And if you're not seeing that in them or in anything that they're doing, then apparently you have faulty perception. And that is certainly a profound way to change perhaps the way that we look at current events and events to come. There is another passage that I wanted to share. This is from April 18th, 2006, where Quo said, "This incarnation of yours, my brother, is not about acquiring information or wisdom. It is about opening your heart and becoming able to share and carry the maximum amount of light and love as it flows from the Creator to the earth and through your physical and metaphysical bodies. If you can open your heart in this moment, you are doing the maximum amount that you can do to serve the Creator and the creation." What a beautiful reminder that the best way we can be of service to others right now is by opening your heart, in spite of all the things that are trying to fill your heart with fear instead, but to open your heart in this moment and to radiate love as it passes through you really is the best thing that we can do right now if we care about being on the path of service to others. And one last passage. This is from November 13th, 2010. Quo said, "There are as many ways to close the heart as there are emotions in the human breast, and there are as many ways to open it again as the remembering consciousness can find. But it is not necessary to will the self to be so and so, such and such. It is necessary only to intend to keep the heart open and serve and hold above all that frequency of the infinite love and light of the one Creator." Such a beautiful reminder, again, that every moment, every day, there are countless numbers of ways to close our hearts, and equally countless number of ways that we can open it again. And that perhaps most importantly, it's not necessarily that important that we succeed in opening our heart, but just the fact that we are consciously intending to and trying to open our heart with love, with the intent to be of service to others, is really the most important thing. And I would think super inspiring, certainly for me, and I hope for you as well. I hope you find some hope in some of these passages, that it helps you open your heart and be able to see what's going on in the world with eyes of love, and to have faith that all is well and that all will be well. Speaking of which, did want to let folks know our most recent Seattle Law of One podcast was on the subject of all is well, and took a look at quite a few passages and helping us discover how to believe in our minds and in our hearts that all is indeed well and that all will be well, in spite of all appearances to the contrary. It's on our YouTube channel, so I encourage you to check that out. Did also want to encourage folks, if you are interested in gathering with like-minded seekers, you can contact us at seattlelawofone@gmail.com. We do meet on Zoom twice a week, Tuesdays from 3 to 5 p.m. Pacific time, Saturdays from 8 to 10 a.m. Pacific time, and we're always happy to meet whoever joins us. Did also want to encourage you to check out the list of study groups on the L&L research page. There are study groups all over the country, all over the world. Every group has a different vibe depending on who's facilitating, depending on who shows up in any given time. So yeah, take a look, find a group that that vibes with you, that you vibe with. And as Ross said so many times, those of like mind who seek together will far more surely find. So until next time, thank you for watching, and in the love and light of the one infinite creator, Adonai. Namaste.